so far involved. I think putting heads together, the leaders of the East African community, and by the way, also because these are people near to the problem or linked to the problem one or the other. It goes into what is so often talked about, African solutions. I think well applied, truly these would provide solutions because there is a direct stake into that, and people are close to the causes or to the problem itself. So I have hope that we can find a outside world. All we need to ask is to support what the African leaders are doing, and countries to the mix themselves with what they think should be the solutions. It's better to support the solutions or the proposed solutions by African leaders. So I think we have that problem is there. The processes are on to deal with the problem, but I think we give it time. The sooner we can really do things that we have to do, then we would find solutions also that people are waiting for. So it is here in Eastern Congo, that is, and then the global community that, given the whole world, as you said, maybe those who I'm talking about who try to help here tend to divert their attention to other parts of the world. Maybe the problems in Eastern Congo or around the region, the Great Lakes region, will take, we end up being secondary in a sense. The primary becomes the other one. But we have to be aware of that. We shouldn't be disheartened by that. We understand how the world works, so we've got to bear that in mind and do what we can do. So I think that's what the understanding is in the whole region.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. We will now take the last two questions. Sam and then Anangwe.
Why don't both of you go and that one, so that you said you had said two people.
Yes, Sam and Anangwe.
So maybe an additional one person. I can see they are struggling for the microphone.
Good evening.
If we do that,
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Jamal Hashim from Azam TV, Tanzania. I would like to speak in Kiswahili language. I know, President, you understand Kiswahili. Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki ni jumuiya yenye kuleta matumaini kwa nchi wanachama na watu wake. Lakini katika siku za hivi karibuni tumeshuhudia wananchi katika jumuiya hizi wakizinyoshea kidole serikali zao kutokana na hali ngumu ya maisha. Mkiwa kama viongozi wakuu wa jumuiya wa nchi wanachama wa jumuiya hizi za Afrika Mashariki, mnadhani mnaleta matumaini gani kwa wananchi ili kurejesha walau furaha kutokana na hali ngumu ya maisha ambayo wamekuwa kushia kidole serikali zetu za jumuiya.
Eastern DRC and the challenges of security in Eastern DRC. This is a collective concern of us as a region. The heads of state did take a decision that EAC must provide leadership in sorting out the challenges in Eastern DRC, especially after DRC joined the EAC. I think we can answer all of them. The good news, the positive news is that the last 1 month has seen a lot of positive development around
Your
the
Excellencies,
challenge.
you've highlighted that in the bilateral talks that you've had and the many that you will continue to have, you've talked about the issue of trade and cooperation between the EAC nations. And reports indicate that for us to attain seamless trade in the East African region, we need to liberalize the skies. And East Africa has a project of the open skies. So, Your Excellencies, I would like to know what is the status update of the EAC open skies? Thank you very much.
My name is Eugene Anangwe. I represent CNBC Africa here in Rwanda. President Ruto, recently you gave a bag of goodies, for lack of a better word, for US investors, including possible tax relief measures. And this has been received in different ways. There are those who are local traders and those from the region who probably see this as, something that they wish to see as well. How do you convince them that such measures are not discriminatory and that you also think about those local investors? To both of you, President Paul Kagame and President Ruto, we are experiencing tectonic geopolitical shifts. And we've also heard of Japan, moving or committing to buying Russian oil above price caps. Most of people are breaking away from traditional US currency. I would like to understand where Africa, where Rwanda, where Kenya is in terms of their capacity on this table. Are they there as meals, or are they there as vibrant players in these particular shifts? Are we able to see, like in US now, President Trump has called for demonstrations in the anticipation for visa rest? Are we going to see senators coming from Rwanda, from Kenya, going to call them to order, the way we've been seeing such situations happen? Thank you so much, and God bless.
I think that's
it.
Let me start maybe with my question specifically, which was linked with that. I think I don't want to take the risk of replying in Kiswahili and then I'm misunderstood. I may speak in English, but I understood the question. Leaders grapple with all kinds of problems. I'm referring to the first question you raised. And it goes on for a long time. Problems, old ones, new ones. The leaders are there to work with the people of any country to try and overcome these challenges that affect them. So the problems we have today in whatever country you want to talk about, and the challenges that leaders have to address are everywhere. You don't find a country without any problems. That is for sure. Different countries have different challenges, problems, but they also have different capacities to deal with those challenges. So on the first part about problems, say, in our region, in different countries, and people pointing fingers at leaders, and that is what to expect with the leadership, with the politics, and with the challenges the countries face all the time. Now, on the transition part for the person in the president of Rwanda, is again, another issue. I fully understand what you are talking about. It's an issue that has to be addressed sooner or later. So on one hand, I agree with you. That is a solution that has to be found, irrespective of what has been done and progress and so on and so forth. Well, including some areas of lack of progress. But maybe you heard my speech. Is it the other night? Is it last night? Or the night before the one of us? I had an opportunity to address this question directed to my party, which over the weekend we had many things to do, including we had a Congress that brought together over 2,000 cadres of the party I lead, which leads the country as well. Some of those things were discussed. And the one you put the question to myself, I had the opportunity to discuss it with my members of the party, that it is an inevitability that we have to find, first of all, grow leaders, and not for me to decide who is going to be the next leader after me. I think that also is not necessarily correct, but to create an environment, circumstances that will give rise to people who can lead, irrespective of whether I like them or not. Because I think you brought it up, even other situations have differences of things they have to